Okay, many of you are about to jet off on holiday, so this story may resonate with you. Shrunken seats, leg rests vanished, food that's barely edible, service, unacceptable. You'd be forgiven for thinking that I have just read a description of the cheapo seats where David and I sit at the back of the aircraft, but no. That was how one frequent flyer from America described first class in a recent newspaper article.
Yeah, now the woman in question was mostly referring to domestic flights, in fact, in the United States. There is no shortage of complaints, though, about the premium cabins on transatlantic flights either. So, is that grumbling well-founded? Well, joining us now from Budapest is aviation expert and travel blogger Gilbert Ott. Gilbert, thanks for joining us. I mean, you pay enough for a first-class seat. You should expect the world, really. Is this a case of saying it's not as good as it used to be, or has she got a point?
I think as far as domestic flights go, she's got a point. It got to the point where first-class upgrades were kind of a giveaway, a given in the U.S. And so, as someone in the article actually said, you do get what you pay for. And obviously, if it's a free upgrade, you can't expect too much. On an international level, I'd say it's kind of crazy, though. I think there's never been a better time to fly first class, nor has it been more opulent and, frankly, ridiculous. So, yeah, I'd say there's some merit to the grumblings in select circumstances, but it's also completely false.
Isn't it? It's odd in a way, though, isn't it, for all that? We're just looking at some rather splendid images of what you can get
like
in first class
apartment.
still. Heavens above. I still want to go left when I get on the plane, that's for sure. But one wonders, is this really about, I mean, there just is not a sort of uniformity of first class anymore. Some are unbelievable, as we've seen there. Some are unbelievable.
Yes, I don't know if there's a question there, but I absolutely will agree with you. I mean, you're looking at suites with doors and beds long enough to fit an NBA basketball player. It's absurd what you're finding these days.
Yeah. Look, at some point, we have just done a story about Greta Thunberg, who is crossing the Atlantic by sailing boat because she wants to reduce her carbon footprint. I mean, at some point, first class, with its massive suites, as we saw just there, bathrooms, probably got dining rooms and basketball courts, as well as the basketball player. That has to be a thing of the past. Isn't there a stigma now about flying first class? Shouldn't there be a stigma about flying first class?
It's absolutely something that's worth talking about, and fortunately, I think we're finally seeing a time where airlines are getting serious about reducing their footprint with the planes they fly and the frequencies they use. But you know, it's one of those things that I don't, without any of us foregoing our vacations or our work travels, see an immediate, answer to it. So it's a complicated question. It's above my pay grade to give you an answer, but it's certainly the optics of flying first class are more difficult than ever when business class is such an incredible cabin, and some of the other cabins are finally catching up, actually.
Okay, Gilbert Ott, thank you very much for joining us. I suspect it's above all of our pay grades to actually fly in that kind of luxury that we are just watching on the television screen right at the moment. That was the end of our 1% segment of this. The woes of the 1% segment of the programme. And this is something totally different. Let's get